It is the final stop before Survivor Series, guys. It is your 14th of November 2002 edition of SmackDown. And the hype train rolls on to one of my favourite pay-per-views of all time, at least here on Fog Wrestling. The Elimination Chamber rights itself, the tables match, the 2-on-2-on-2, Scott Steiner's debut, even the women's hardcore match, to name a few. But we did kick off this show with Paul Heyman and the Big Show. Paul Heyman comes out, says that Brock ain't showing up tonight because he was thrown off the stage last week. Then Big Show's like, I'm going to be calling him out just in case. And this feud is honestly just not doing it for me, man. It just feels so cookie cutter. Like, this whole gimmick that Paul Heyman is so scared of Big Show is just cringy. Like, Big Show, like we've talked about it before on the channel, Big Show not too long ago was like jobbing out left, right and centre to Tommy Dreamer on Raw. And yes, guys, if you want to check out our reviews of that, it's on the channel. Probably about 2 months ago, when it was uploaded. Probably about during September of Raw 2002. Big Show was honestly getting battered by Tommy Dreamer, and that's a surreal thing to say. So, is he going to call it Brock later on tonight? You never know. Up next, though, we have our match of the evening. We have Chavo taking on Edge. We're sick of seeing the Super Six. At least here we've seen a different variant of it. But when it's Chavo, there's no chance Chavo wins. Edge wins with the execution. The match was alright. Ray's getting interviewed backstage by Mark Lloyd. He says he's happy to be a tag team champion with Edge. And then he cuts a promo on Eddie. But before he really gets anything meaningful said, Brock Lesnar arrives. Ray's like, hey, Brock, you doing okay? And Brock's like, no, I'll see you out there, kid. And then Brock just like leaves, and that ends the segment. It's like, damn. So, kind of cool seeing like Rey Mysterio and Brock Lesnar have a wee backstage segment like this, to say the least. But that's it, pretty much wrapped up. Up next, though, we do have Al Wilson and Big Dom Marie. Al's reading a wedding magazine, and he's like, I love you, Don. You make me feel so sexually intrigued and all that pish. Don's like, you should probably think about inviting your daughter Tori, Al. And Al's like, Okay. He then takes the wedding invitation, but you know what? I'll talk to Tori about it. We then go backstage to Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. We are in the locker room. Paul Heyman's upset that Lesnar's showing up, and he's like, you won't listen to me, Brock. You won't listen to me. He's like, I have no idea how we're going to get this. And he's like, oh wait, I do. He's got an idea how to get them out of the predicament that they are in. What will that be? Not too sure, but I just don't like this Paul Heyman. Honestly, this Paul Heyman run. Paul Heyman was so good in 2001 in the Invasion, doing commentary in the segments with ECW and shit. I'm sorry, him in 2002 sucked. It has. I think his run as GM will be good, but in terms of this run with Brock Lesnar, Brock doesn't need him. And, I mean, maybe you could argue, well, that's why they have him turn on Brock, because you can go separate ways. I'll accept that. Up next, though, we'll get a tag team match. We'll get Matt Hardy and John Cena defeating Tajiri and Rikishi. Matt Hardy, just the best part about the show again. Oh, yeah, I'll be staying on my feeling. His wee facts are quality, man. You cannot beat them. The Survivor Series, we'll get into them a bit more, but yeah, they were unreal, man. But Rikishi's jobbing out. Cena, of course, in a wee mini feud here with Rikishi. Looks like he's set to win that. We then have Chris Benoit and an Angle backstage. They're blaming each other for losing the tag titles, and they're like, right, we're going to settle it in the ring for who's the better wrestler. Right, I cannot cope with this, man. How many times are we going to see these two? Honestly, like, in all seriousness, how many times are we going to see these two wrestle? It seems like it happens once every 3 weeks, and they're fucking tag team partners, man. Honestly, we've seen this match a million times. There is no need. There is honestly no need to see this match. But no, Stephanie McMahon, I think she knows what she's talking about and wants to do it. She absolutely needs to get her head out her fucking arse and start producing some good television, that's for sure. Because just copy and pasting a Kurt Angle and Benoit match, it's not really doing anything for me. I'm sorry. Sorry to burst your bubble, man, but it's not. Paul Heyman then goes into the Big Show's locker room. He asks him to back off until Survivor Series. He's like, this is a mega main event show, Paul, whatever you want me to call you. Do you really want to ruin the opportunity here? Do you really want to ruin it? Think about it, man. You don't want to injure the champ before the big pay-per-view. Big Show's like, I'll think about. Honestly, this feud's immense. I can't wait to. I was gonna say I can't wait. I mean, honestly, Big Show's not doing anything. I mean, you've got this shit run with the belt that he's going to have. He's going to lose it to Angle. Then he's going to have like a feud with Undertaker, which is going to involve Albert and Luther Reigns. What? The people think that's acceptable? Garbage. Up next, we've got Eddie Guerrero taking on Rey Mysterio. I mean, the match is alright, but again, it's just the SmackDown 6. Fuck me. How about try something different? Rey Mysterio taps it to the El Paso Lasso. Guerrero did have his hand on the rope. But will he tap out on Sunday? Up next, we have got the Almighty Tori and Al Wilson. Tori says, I don't want to go to the wedding, Dad. And then it's like, you're being played. So, but we've discussed this in brief. So what if Al Wilson's getting played? If he wants to end his old life with banging Dawn Marie, right, then so be it. That's his decision, Tori. Right, now, what I would say is, for this entire segment and storyline, I guess Tori Wilson ends up being right, but maybe she just wants some of her daddy's money. She then goes on to say there's no fool like an old fool, then walks out on her dad. Bad. Then we have a non-title match with Billy Kidman against Jamie Noble. And then Billy Kidman beats Jamie Noble at Survivor Series. And it's almost like, I feel like these two have had matches. This is like the Benoit and Angle of the Cruiserweight division. They just seem to have constant matches. But at least one of them will lose the belt come the pay-per-view. Then we have Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman backstage. Heyman tells Brock to pack his bags, that they're going home. Brock's like, no, I'm not going home. I'm going out to call it the Big Show. If he's not calling me out anymore, then I'm going out and I'm calling him out. Paul Heyman can't believe this. What is going on? Who knows? Up next, it's Deja Vu. It's another match. It's Kurt Angle against Chris Benoit. Angle before the match. Then fights Rey Mysterio and Edge and the Grells at ringside so they could scout him. He's like, I know what it is. You guys want to scout me. I'm that good. During the match, though, we've got Edge and Rey brawling with the Guerreros. Benoit threw Angle onto Edge and Rey, who were sitting in the chairs at the ringside. So, I mean, essentially what happened is they all started brawling like crazy at the end of the match. Angle then had the ankle lock on Eddie, while Benoit had the crossface on Edge. Angle and Benoit were about to go at it, but then Angle convinced Benoit to shake his hand. Angle then tried to get a hug, but Benoit would have none of it. Well, guess what, Angle? You'll get your wee hug at the pay-per-view. Make no mistake about it, big man. That's where you'll get it. Then to end the show with Brock Lesnar and, well, it's the Big Show. Now, despite burying these two for past couple of weeks, Brock calls the Big Show out. They brawl at ringside. Brock cracks Big Show about 3 times in the face. He then throws Big Show into the steel steps. It slices his arm open, his head's bust open, and then Brock just poses with the belt at the top of the ramp, and it's like, whoa, what an amount of blood here. Like, it felt good seeing Brock finally dominate Big Show, but it almost like buried Big Show. And I guess it was to like remind you that Brock Lesnar is this absolute badass, but at the same time, it came across as weird. Like the booking feels like there's a lot of flip flopping going on. But that is it, guys. SmackDown went off the air. I mean, it ended strong. The last two segments, I guess, were good. The Don Marie Owl stuff was alright. I mean, none of the matches were bad. I mean, I'm going to give the show a standard 5 out of 10, right down the middle. It was okay, but there's just not an awful lot happening these days on the Blue brand, is there? Not really.